for those of you who missed the conference this afternoon, the conversations about reconciliation, certainly about the media's role in reconciliation and what we can do, or how it is we portray stories in the media that actually not only create conflict, but further conflict. And I sat there during this feeling a fair amount of conflict myself, as I do. My history is as a journalist for 25 years. About 12 years ago, I moved from the journalism side of the Washington Post, the company I was running Newsweek at the time. I'm sorry, that's not true. I was the #2 editor at Newsweek at the time, and moved over to the business side of the Washington Post company to work with our owner, Don Graham, not only on trying to figure out how to create opportunities and environments for people to do good work throughout our company, but also to think about the big problems we face in the media as the business model changes and how we could move forward. We feel fairly beaten down in the American media when we think about our future. It's one that is not as easy and bright as it was a decade ago, when advertisers used particularly print and conventional broadcast to news and other broadcast forms to get the word out, to sell their products. And with the dramatic increase in opportunities through both cable and then internet of people throughout the world to contribute to the news, and also the movement in our country to go away from a kind of mass gathering of information or mass digestion of information to an opportunity to pick just what it is that you'd like to read, just what it is you're interested in. As I try to think about what role we play and where we could contribute to reconciliation in the world at large, it seems to me it's still focused on the mission that we as American journalists, somewhat different than those in other parts of the world, not all different from all, but different from many, have. We make mistakes all the time. We're flawed as people are in so many of your professions too. But our goal, particularly at the large media companies like the Washington Post Company or the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, we pride ourselves in getting things right and trying to tell the story of what is going on in this country and what is going on throughout the world. It's a challenging, difficult profession. It is hard to talk to people for an hour, a day, a week, a month, and capture enough about their story to convey it to all of you and to readers and users in ways that will be informative and beneficial and interesting to you. But it is a mission that we believe is a noble one, and a mission that we believe leads to the kind of reconciliation, the kind of understanding of the world that is necessary for us all to have opportunities to work not only within this country, but work across the globe. So, not as a representative of the Washington Post Company, but as an individual, I think about what Americans' future is, and how will information be available to Americans and then to people outside this country who are dependent, who have relied on extraordinary programming like 60 Minutes, fine journalists like those in this room tonight doing the Shorenstein Center. If we took every wealthy person in the United States and could convince them to give $1 million, you could still see how short a time, say we wanted to fund 1,000 journalists to do investigations throughout the world. Investigative journalism is a slow, difficult, and tedious process. So as we think about how we can make this world a more peaceful one, a better one, it's incumbent on those of us in the media to not be quite as addicted to conflict as we sometimes are. We sort of like two things. We like conflict and underdogs. Those are what make interesting stories. And of course, a little celebrity juice along the side works pretty nicely too. But we have to find ways to make sure we are providing balanced and accurate, not in any, we can't depend on any one story or any one publication, but the mass of the media has to be providing to you and to people throughout the world independent, verifiable, compelling, interesting journalism. But what that will take from you and from people throughout this country and people throughout this world is investment. And I am not smart enough yet to figure out where that investment will come from and how it will do. I believe that the need and the desire, I believe all of you who are reading and digesting compelling, accurate, very detailed investigative reporting today will have access to the same quality information a decade from now. But it won't look like it does today. It will probably come more on your laptop or your iPad or another mobile device than it does in print. And it's going to cost you more to get it. But it's not only, certainly media companies are businesses. We have shareholders, they want a return on their investment. Ownership wants to make a profit. But there is another more noble and more important goal, and that is to be able to provide accurate, compelling, interesting, verifiable journalism, so that it's not just rooms like this where people have an opportunity to talk to each other and learn about the world around them, but it is the places, people in much less affluent communities, people in much less populated places, people who just don't have the privilege of being invited to the Kennedy School, can get the same level of information, think about it, digest it, and do their part to make the world a better place. So as I said, I'm humbled. I'm amazed by the incredible work that people in this room have done and continue to do. Tuan, who was helpful with, as Tom said, in working on this Reconciliation Prize, is a one-man ambassador. He has been working in Vietnam, in the media, trying to change and make sure that as much truth as the media could possibly tell there, as much information was getting out to the Vietnamese people. And now, having come to the United States, he's trying to make sure that all of us keep thinking about how we contribute to making that information available to people all throughout the world. So I thank you very much for having me. I hope it is a delightful evening and a wonderful dinner, an inspiring opportunity for you, and an opportunity where you'll go away thinking about what is the concert as Tuan put together, what is the other opportunity that we all have to create reconciliation and peace throughout the world. So thank you so much.